We had to work together. That's why you ever watch my act, you'll see I don't even do no motherfucking racist jokes. So I'm gonna just do one. Okay. White man, a black man, an Asian, and a Hispanic. They're all on top of this tall mountain, Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Kilimanjaro, whatever. The Hispanic said, "This is for my people," jumped off the mountain. The Asian said, "This is for my people," jumped off the mountain. Black man said, "This is for my people," grabbed the white dude, threw that motherfucker up. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. But white folks, when you tell it, just flip it. Just flip it. Anybody can tell it, just flip it.
Yeah, what's good, Pete?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Two Transit Misfit show.
Yes, sir.
Number, did I get this right? Number 138. Number 138.
Yeah, we up that high already?
This is for our archives, you know, easier to find whenever we're looking for something. What's up, Blunt? What's good?
Chilling.
I'm liking the new things you got over here. Good, nice.
Thank you.
Very nice, very nice.
Updated, little updated stuff going
on. So, give a minute just to see if anybody else pops up, because we have something. Something happened today. A personal thing happened today, and I'm going to expand on it, build around that, and we should have a interesting show. So, guys, if your first time here, welcome to Two Transit Misfits. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Please share. Help us grow. How did I know that was coming? It's like you always queued up. Cheers to a good show.
I gotta learn the lyrics to that shit. Blah 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 blah. In the days or whatever.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
So anyway, welcome everybody. We are live on Facebook and on our YouTube page, Two Transit Misfits today. So
what up, Primo?
What's up? Thank you for joining us. So check this out. Like I said, this story, it's a personal thing that happened today, and then we're going to build around it. And we're going to talk about other how they call it, shenanigans, union BS. All right, a little drama. You guys love the drama, right? You guys love a little drama. We're gonna light a little flame over here, hopefully, and hopefully we could get through something that will lead into something good later on for us transit workers. So, Blunt, we've spoken about this a couple of times about the rules and regulations with transit. For instance, the mask wearing. We've spoken about the paying of the fare. How we're like, no longer, we don't bother with that. Okay, I've even said it. I'm like, I'm blinded to everything. Whatever happens behind me happens. That's like my kind of go attitude. And the same thing with the strollers, which we also brought up not too long ago, that they have this. But we're going to talk about that stroller policy also. But what happens today? For some reason, I wanted to follow rules, and this couple gets on the bus. We were on I ain't going to say the street on that thing, but the line, the B35. So this couple gets on the bus, and the man comes in, and the female with it's a large stroller. Looks like one of those jogging stroller, but they're long and wide. So she comes up with that stroller. Now I'm at the stop. There's a little store right there at the bus stop, and there's a crowd of people coming in. So I'm like, all right, it's a little drizzling outside. It was a little raining. So she's gonna come in with a stroller, and I'm gonna run in, grab a little pack of M&Ms, run back in, and she should be all set. So I run in. Not even 30 seconds, because they know me, and they'll come and grab my candy bar, come back in the bus. Stroller's still open. I told the lady, Miss, no, because when she came in, I told her, you got to take the baby out the stroller, and you have to close the stroller. So when I came back, the baby was out of the stroller, but the stroller was open.
Right.
So it was a little baby, maybe 2 years old, was in the stroller, and they walked in with a little girl that I think maybe 4 years old, between 3 and 4 years old. So I tell her, you need to close the stroller. And the dude just pops up and he's like, yo, I got to close the stroller for? I ain't closing the stroller. So I'm like, you got to close the stroller. First of all, the stroller's packed with stuff and it's too wide. We got too many people on the bus. You know, it's a danger. You got to lock it. So now he gets up and he comes up. As I see that he gets up, I quickly unbuckle my seatbelt. I threw my seat all the way far back. I closed the barrier. I grabbed the phone. What do you call it?
Okay.
The handset, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had a pen in my pocket. I grabbed the pen. I'm holding it in my right hand, and I unlocked the door. You know, this door, when you lock it, it's like stays kind of open like there. Because I'm like, if this, the way he's coming up to me, I'm like, if he's gonna start something, I could throw my body against the door. I got the phone. I got, prepared. So he comes right up to the glass and he's like, yo, bro, I can't close it. I don't know how to close the stroller. So I'm like, you don't know how to close your own stroller, bro? He goes, nah, man. And why the fuck? Why the fuck I gotta close it? I said, I get on all these buses here all the time. None of you bitches say nothing to me. Why you gotta say something to me now? I'm like, bro, you gotta close the stroller. It's just, well, what kind of fucking rules? So I pointed at the sign. He said, no, we ain't going nowhere. Listen. And then he tells me, I just came out of jail and I don't give a shit if I got to go back. If I have to hurt a motherfucker, go back. I don't care. So he goes and sits that. During that time, I already had pressed the PRTT. But when they call me back and I'm telling them on the phone, listen, I got an agitated customer over here who won't close a stroller that's oversized and he just threatened me. So get cops over here ASAP. Cops were there within 3 minutes, which I was surprised. They were there within 3 minutes, but within those 3 minutes, another bus came. The bus pulled up next to me so that you could see the front door. From my point of view, you could see the front door. I could see where the driver's sitting. I could see the front door. Everybody's coming out. They're, oh, you're not moving? Go, come on, moving. So they're all going into that bus. Now the woman gets off too, and he gets off, still cursing at me, looking all hard at me and pointing and coming out. He comes around to the windshield, and he's helping this little girl. Now he's doing all this in front of his little kids. Now the baby maybe doesn't know nothing, but 3-4-year-old is watching this dude. I'm thinking the father do this. So he comes back to the windshield, still with the stroller, and what I didn't mention was that when he got on the bus, he had a belt wrapped around his hand with a buckle. Like I'm like, did he like yell at the kids or something? Like he's trying, like sit down, or that kind of rough parenthood.
Right.
So with that same belt, he swings at the windshield and he cuts the windshield. I cut it like he scraped it, like scratched the windshield. He hit it really hard. He's still yelling at me. I'm just talking to Consul, and then he just spits out a huge loogie, like right there. If the windshield wasn't there, it would have been right on me, like plah, right there. And then he comes around my side. My window was closed at that moment. He had something in a bottle or something. He threw that unknown liquid right at me at the window, splattered all over the place. Then what he does, he goes up to the other bus. We're gonna get back to this thing and he gets on with the stroller still open, the doors closed, and the bus takes off. Right? Moments later, the cops get there. So this was kind of quick. So within 3-4 minutes, the cops came there. And I explained everything that happened. They asked me if I knew what he looked like. I told them what the guy looked like. I told him he just got on a bus that was in front of me, bus so-and-so. He's on that bus. Because I'm thinking maybe they're going to call it up and see, right? So they say, "You okay?" They're checking me. They say, "You all right? Are you scared for your life or whatever?" I'm like, "Listen, I told them, listen, if I'm going to be scared all the time, then I shouldn't be a bus driver. But what happened shouldn't have happened." So they told me, "Okay, we're going to wait. We're going to wait for supervision. They're on the way." I go, "Yeah, supervision said they're on the way." And they sat there and waited for supervision. Now, supervision came, took my brief. Cops left. Um, you know, all good. Supervision is telling me, the problem with this is your own coworkers. They are your worst enemies. Because if everybody was doing the job the right way, then this wouldn't be happening. If we were all from the get-go telling people you got to close the store, they got to close the store, not rushing because we just got to go from point A to point B so fast that we don't want to take our time to tell people anything. Because he said, if you were to be telling this to everybody, they will be like, I'm not going to go on that bus because that bus is going to tell me the same shit. And that moment proved it when the guy got on that bus and the bus left with him with an open stroller. Yeah, Dan, MTA fault. Well, I don't know. They made the rules, right? Um, but this is an issue that I'm having that I thought about afterwards. And guys, keep commenting. Whatever you have to say. John Hahn, this is seriously good. I'm glad, John. I'm glad, John, you say it's the same thing over there. I like to, anybody that's watching this that's from other systems, other states or whatever that watch our show, comment. Let us know if these kind of things are happening out there. Even though I know they are, but like, how are you handling it? How is being handled by your union
It's
or
funny
your
how
transit company?
people don't understand that the things that happen here to happen here in New York pretty much happen everywhere else. But it's good when people comment. It's good to other people see it because we see it all the time. We see it from Canada, from Australia, uh, from the East Coast, West Coast, and it's the exact same things. Like the same scenario goes on in different companies. So it doesn't matter where it's from.
Right. But then this is what I thought afterwards, right? We have no solidarity whatsoever within our membership. None. We've spoken a couple of times on this subject where, when we pass a bus operator and we see there's an issue, there was an accident or whatever, you see supervision parked there, you pull over, you look, you make sure they're okay. We look at them like I usually do. I'll look, I'll give a thumbs up to see. Usually they'll go like this, the thumbs down, meaning the bus is down. So I'm like, all right, money, making money. We keep it going, right? My question is, why didn't this operator? Because when supervision came, this was like a while later after the bus had left and everything, and the cops had left. He said, "Well, you told what bus was he in?" Because he wrote it up on what bus I saw that the guy went on. He goes, "Well, nothing came through, so the operator didn't mention anything. Nothing happened on that bus that was called in." It's upsetting, and I'm pissed off because I know that operator saw the hit on the windshield. I know the operator saw the guy spit at the glass. I know the operator saw when the liquid was flung at my bus. And yet he let the guy go in when he saw him screaming and yelling and took off like nothing. Why? I don't understand. Like, if it would have been me, first of all, that guy would not have been coming on the bus. I would have locked it. I would have called console and said, listen, bus so and so is having an issue with a customer. It looks like the guy's trying to assault the driver, and now he's trying to get on my bus. Something. I mean, am I right? Aren't we supposed to look out for each other? Solidarity, NYPD have it,
You
right?
have to
Sanitation has it.
when you use that word,
Mm-hmm.
supposed to look out for each other. You have to use your air quotes because it's not really happening in the system.
What's not happening in
You're
the system?
supposed to look out for each other.
Well, it's an unwritten rule, I would say. Yes or
I'm
no?
just
I
saying.
mean, MTA is not telling us to look out for each other, but us as union members,
As union members,
doing
you're
the same
supposed to.
work every day, why shouldn't we be looking out for each other?
You should be.
And it's like, dude, you saw it happening, and then you just go about your business.
I think Dan makes a good point.
I ain't throwing the guy under the bus because I know who it is. Actually, the motherfucker is on here on our page. And truth is, I didn't want to have a talk with this guy, but I thought we didn't have any issues. I really didn't. They were pretty cool and everything. And suddenly, the guy cannot say he didn't see it. There's no fucking way he's gonna say that he didn't see it happening because it lasted for about a minute. The whole thing with the guy spitting and all that shit. So where's the solidarity? And bringing that. It used to be when I first started here. I just hit 21 years of transit. When I started here, I'll tell you guys this story because I don't know if you heard it. This was back in, well, I was in Flatbush. I was there for maybe 5 years after I did my first year at Gleason. And there's this story where there was this operator that he was pretty much well known in Flatbush. Like a lot of people liked. He was a little short guy. All right, so some of you might know who he is. Little short guy. I believe he's Hispanic too. But he was doing the 46. He was reaching Eastern Parkway, Empire, Eastern Parkway, one of those streets up Utica. A couple of guys got on the bus and I guess they started with him. Who knows if it was what the reason was? I don't remember if it was for the fare, but I'm sure he didn't start it. But they came in. They probably something was said or other, and there was about to be an argument. People were jumping out of the bus. There was a 46 coming south on the other lane coming down. There was another 46 that was passing him and another one coming down on the road. Those three operators, they stopped on their tracks. One was at the bus stop, one on the road, one on this side. The three operators ran to the bus driver because they saw what was going on in the bus. When they ran into the bus, it was done. The guy had fucked up the two guys that were trying to hit him. The bus operator fucked the two guys up. So he took care of it before the three guys got there, before the co-workers got there. But they didn't realize that the guy was a boxer. The bus operator was a boxer. He was known Flappers. A lot of people liked him. But he was a little shorty, but he fucked them up. But my whole thing is that we had that we had that solidarity back then. What happened to it? Like what happened to it? Now, Q, who was on our show, he was saying that we are the proudest, right? The proud. We're proud of what? What are we proud of? Of letting people step on us all the time.
Supposed to be the safest, whatever.
Yeah, we are the safest. We drive better than pretty much anybody in the world from what we got the best training to become bus operators. But what am I supposed to be proud of? I would be proud if I had a strong union. I would be proud if I had, let's call them soldiers or members that look out for each other. When you pass each other, you give a thumbs up or something, like we're there for each other. Because ain't nobody out there for us. When it comes down to the passengers versus us, transit, most of the time, is going to take their side. They're going to freaking blame us before anything. Right? So whatever happened with all that, it's like everybody now is like all for themselves. And we've talked about it again. We talked about how, we got to look out for each other and so forth. And this is stretching now to where I'm sorry that I'm just keeping going, Blunt. You could cut me off at any time. It's just I'm like really upset at this whole shit because it's not because it's just me, because it's happened to other people. Just yesterday, something happened to a female bus operator on the B35 at the end of the line. The supervisor came up to me and said, "Hey, did you have this and this happen in your bus?" I'm like, "No." Then we see her, and you know her, I know her. Mad cool girl. She's been in our depot for a long time, and there was a problem on her bus. Why? So what happened? As I'm passing by, I looked, and she's okay. She waves. You know, it's what you're supposed to do. And this is now extending into our union, into what's going on now with um progressive change. I was hoping to have the little bottles be like progressive change, come out and play, progressive change, come out. You know,
What
remember
is
when
wait? Okay, so
when these guys, JP, Willie, all that, and we were complaining like, oh, they're never around. We never see them. How do we know what kind of work they're doing? They're not doing shit. Progressive change. I've spoken to a couple of them. I've spoken to Nas. I've spoken to Ronnie, uh, uh, Chico, Norm, right? Like, yo, a couple of guys have asked me, like, what's going on? Because they're not seeing anything. They say, oh, well, we're working behind the scenes, we're helping guys with this and that. You know, we just did this for this guy. Okay. To see, nobody knows about it. Just like when the other guys were in charge, nobody knew. We were complaining that we didn't see nothing, and now you see, we don't see what you're doing either. So that, that kind of like what's going on there. We had let's see, Armando Serrano, right? Division chair. He was beat by Ron Carter. The first vice chair, Willie Rivera, was beat by Gary Rosario. The second vice chair, Lou Marrero, was beat by Donahue Clark. And the third vice chair, Keith Wilkes, was beat by our own Donnie Santobello. And of course, we got Nas, we got Cam, Chico, Springer. But these guys are the ones that took like those top guys. Alexander Kemp, what I'm talking about. Yes, that they are all at work. Okay. But let's see something. I'm just saying, people are asking what is going on. Because like I said before, people were complaining that the guys previously, you didn't see them do anything. And maybe I'm not in a group where they're doing videos or whatever. And I'm not trying to throw at them. I'm not trying to throw at progressive change either. Because when I see something, I'm going to call it out. Okay? That's just me. I'm not trying to throw at you guys. But by now, it's been what, like a month now? This is like doing a month check that we're doing on you guys. Have you guys gone around other depots, like presenting yourself? Have you come to Gleason? Excuse me, Michael. Not now. Like, okay, you've been elected for 4 weeks. Okay, like I said, so a month. So this is like a month check. So my question is, like, by now, I think that everybody should be seeing who these guys are. All right. Well, 4 weeks. Now, okay, well, Fro Pacheco says 3 months. We go with 4 weeks. I like to see them come into the depot. I like to see them go into different depots and let us know who they are. Thank the membership for voting. The same way like I was asking JP, where's JP? Why hasn't he approached the membership and with some kind of apology? Same thing. Why suddenly everybody's like silence? Why?
I mean,
yeah, Dan Av.
Exactly. It's a good. You bring up some good points. One, let's go back to the incident first.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
yeah,
where
I kind of just kept on going.
The operator, if the operator saw what was happening, why did he let that person on the bus?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
and the way I'm saying, the way it was seen, he was the last person to get on the bus. Mm-hmm. Everybody from my bus had already gone inside the bus. This little girl went on the bus. The wife a woman that was with him got on the bus. He was the last one there with his stroller by the door.
I mean, I know a lot of people don't want no smoke when it comes down to what's happening out there in the streets or stuff like that. And I can only speak for myself when it comes to situations like that. If I see, and let me just make this clear, because I'm no longer driving a bus, so this is all just take it with a grain of salt. But if I see that I'm driving my bus and I see that an operator is being spit at and stuff thrown, even if you get on my bus, the bus don't no longer moves from that point on. You know, I mean, I don't really I like if I'm pulling up and that already happening, it's already happening. I don't really know what happened that led to that or anything but previous to that. So you could have been assaulted, and here I am, the getaway car, right? So at that point, I'm just, oh, he got on my bus, bro. I'm like, I can't let you in, or we can't go nowhere. So you need to get off and walk, or find some other thing, because I'm pretty sure the cops are on their way, right? So
Right.
that would have been the first thing.
Hmm.
Um, they not gonna really track that after that. Once that bus is gone, they not gonna call and cops ain't.
No, the only way they would have done it was if the altercation were actually got
Right.
assaulted
If you
physically.
right, if you would have got hit, they would have went after that.
Yeah.
After that, that dude is in the wind. So yeah, the frustration is there. The solidarity. I don't know if the operator is a rookie or not, but like Dan Nab have brought up, it's the training starts in Zariga. I think Kemp was, yeah, Alexander Kemp said it's to learn behavior. So they both have good points. The training is started in Zariga, and that type of behavior that we're talking about, the solidarity, is a learned behavior. But it doesn't end at Zariga, because you got to get line training at each particular depot. So also the people who are training these people on buses have to start installing that. And then also when you come into a new depot, you usually greeted by the union members, the union leaders in the beginning, and they
Mm.
give you the heads up and stuff like that. Um, so those people are the ones that are instilling. So you got the drivers who are teaching them. You got Zariga. Zariga really ain't gonna say anything about that. But you got the in-house depot, and you got the union members, the union leaders that started, and so on and so on. But nowadays, it don't seem like any of that's happening.
It's
I
not.
don't know,
The
but
union
it just seems
themselves
like
should be telling. I mean, aren't they always going on unions saying one? What is it?
a hurt the one is a hurt your own. Yeah,
So
I mean,
with that same token, it's like, listen, if this is happening out there, we got to look out for each other out there.
right, right.
It's
But
human.
let me play devil's advocate here when it comes
Yeah.
down to
Hmm.
progressive change and the new incumbents that are in there, the newly elected people
The
that
new
is in
leaders.
office, right? I've said it from day one, and I'm gonna say it because it applies to them also. Union business is a lot harder than you think. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that nobody knows about. And I said this before. You don't know until you're in that seat or in that office with them exactly what they go to on a day-to-day basis. So it's still kind of, I mean, they've been in there 3 months since January, even though they had the struggle with the back and forth between the rerun and all that stuff. And you still have to give them time to work. They have a lot of stuff that they have to work out, and they probably
Hmm.
still fighting JP and them
Hmm.
on some bullshit.
The release, they still not getting released.
Now, what happens with progressive action, how they shoot themselves in the foot is in the beginning of all of this, when they were running for office, they were
Progressive change.
constantly, yeah, progressive change. I'm sorry, they were constantly on the air, constantly, constantly, and now that they're in, it's like it just kind of stopped. So it's like people are wondering what happened. So you
Because a
gotta
lot
give
of them
them.
were saying we're going to continue
Yeah, I mean
coming
that's true, but give
online.
them, you got to give them a little time. Um, I understand the emotions is there, but you do have to give them a little time to see what's going on. As far as addressing the people, they got to get back. They may not get back to the volume of videos that they were doing before they were elected, but an update would be nice. It would be nice. And people, I think people really want it. They may not tell them that, but they'll tell you, they'll tell me, they'll tell
Mhm.
everybody but them that they want to see them more. So
Yeah.
hopefully, if they get it written in this, they understand that this is what the people want.
And I was told, because I asked someone else, that they did in Gleason went to do some type of a shop gate, and that somebody there from the union said not to listen to him because he was giving out misinformation.
Oh wow!
Now,
So they
this is
already
also
started
the
with the
union.
wait.
So
Some who's saying what? The what? So somebody from the
somebody
union,
that's in the union and already in the depot,
right,
supposedly,
was
allegedly,
was given a shot
told
gate.
this other person that was there to talk to the members that the guys that are there in the depot should not be listening to him because he's giving them misinformation.
Wow.
And when I heard that, I was like, that right there, again, with the solidarity, you're all together in the union. First of all, if this happened like that, I don't think it should have been publicly, right? You tell so and so, could you hold on a second? Can you come over
Pull them
here?
to the
Yeah,
side.
I want to just talk to you real quick. You can continue your meeting with Shopkeep, whatever the hell it was, but I want to tell you something. Be like, listen, this and this and this is like this, like this, and like this, right? You, apart, aside,
Right. You put them to the side.
because the truth is, you all got to work together, and I don't see it. I mean, JP already doesn't want to work with these people, even though his team got beat twice. Got beat twice, and they're at the depot working on the bus, acting like everything is cool, nonchalant, hanging with the guys like, oh, it was this is so cool. Yeah, no, you know your butt hurt. They know their butt hurt. They didn't want to come back to drive the buses. But anyway, point is that there should still be them talking. Even if they don't get the release, they should be talking, working together. Especially I'm talking about the guys that are in a depot. I don't know what's going on with the guys that won in other depots, but it's just wrong. And this is built. This is that division that we have. Huge division that we have within the membership. And it has to do all because of this BS, because of this union thing, because they don't like this guy, or they don't like that guy. And then we're out there, nobody's helping nobody. Everybody's out there just trying to screw the next guy. You get on the 35, you get at the end of the line, and there'll be like two buses. There's a local and there's a limited. And that limited is supposed to go first, but he'll sit and wait for the local to go first because nobody wants to work. Like it's a shit show.
Because
Uh,
when you get stuff like that, is what kind of unity you expect to get from stuff like
yeah,
that?
chairs don't want to work with the new division. I understand that. I know that. A lot of us already know that. Those that have been paying attention know that. Those that have been on Facebook know that. The whole thing is that those that are not don't know what the hell is going on. And that's what I'm asking, that all these guys that won, that go through their names, Ron Carter, Gary Rosario, Donahue Clark, Donnie Santabello, Ralph Springer, Chico, Kemp, Nas. I mean, Nas is in our depot. Make your step up. Go. You could. I'm sure you could go to all. Just should have been. I think they could have gone through every single depot within this month, just to say, hey, what's up? Well, we're the new. Thank you for your votes. Blah 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 blah. We just want to come back here, let you guys know if you need anything. You call upon us. Blah blah. Like, let us start to get to know you, and it's not happening. Yeah, they're working behind closed doors or behind the scenes, but the people that know are the only ones that they're helping. And I know you're not supposed to like toot your own horn, and we don't need to hear, hey, I just helped this operator. This is it. Just come into the depot, talk to us, let us know who you are. Start getting, because the whole thing was about getting the drivers together, right? It was about, we're going to build a family, we're going to help each other, we're going to build this union strong. And if you're not out there in the depots, the garages, and talking to the members and getting us together like you were doing before you were voted on, when you wanted everybody's votes, that same energy that all you guys were using to get our votes should still be there right now. I don't see no reason why, if you guys already won, that you can't take a day out of your time, a couple hours out of your day that you're off or whatever, and start visiting depots. Okay, you say you go to every depot all week. I haven't seen anything. I haven't heard anything. What happened to the videos? Because Kemp, I know that you were posting videos all the time. You was outside of our depot and doing the lives and giving us information and letting us know the rundown of everything that's going on. Same thing with Rob was doing the same thing. Who else was doing? Nas was doing the same thing. And you know, you guys are in. Let's continue it. Let's continue it. Roberto. Well,
Doesn't Nas still do his shop gates every
he says he
week?
does, but I mean,
I've seen a couple. Nas is still out there. Camp,
okay.
I've seen maybe one or two of Kemp's.
Mhm.
I've been kicked off of Facebook, so I might be out the loop there. But
Well, as far as Roberto Martinez, I think he's in the community board.
right.
I think he's
But,
working on some
but
other things.
Rob,
But
even
he,
though Rob's not elected, so
right, so we can't really.
you can't hold him to the fight. Even though he
No,
does what he does, but he's not elected.
he
So.
got the team together and this and that, and his team won, but he didn't. So therefore, we really can't be bothering him with any. You know, he's there.
But
He'll do whatever he can, but we
I get
cannot
what you're
question
saying,
him.
though. I mean, they had this energy. I honestly think, Pete, I honestly think they still have the same energy. Just that right now they're working, like I said about JP. You know, when they was in office, they're working behind the scenes and they don't have time to be
Well,
stating all that stuff
there are
all the
also
time.
some issues that I've heard from a couple of them that have been called to see the boss,
Oh, look,
and it seems like
Rob said they're
somebody
still working behind the scenes. I can believe that. I
somebody's
can believe.
trying to, you know, knock them down and find
Yeah,
whatever they can
I
when they're
believe
out
they're
on the road.
fighting two fronts right now. But I hope they hear what you're really trying to say is that the energy then fell off, and I think when one if they're
And hold on, real
watching
quick.
this,
I'm glad that Alexander Camp, I'm glad you're here and you're speaking up. And Roberto, I'm glad, because this thing, the guys wanted to hear something.
right?
It's
But
about just
what
hearing something.
my point is, if one person's speaking about this, and for the guys who are watching, if one person speak about it, just like in business, if you get one letter, one complaint letter, that letter represents 100 people. So if one person like Pete is speaking about it, you can guarantee there's 100 other people behind him that hold the same sentiment. So that means there's a lot of people in union that's looking to hear from you guys, basically.
I also heard that in the last meeting, now I'm going to say allegedly, that I heard that this is the last meeting, this last Tuesday that they did the meeting. Supposedly, JP came in, say, "Hey, what's up?" Blah, 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 and walked out. And that I heard that somebody went and got him. Like, yeah, you got to come back into the meeting. So is this whole, I don't want to be around these guys, but
But shouldn't that
JP,
be expected
you
by
got to do
now?
it. Yeah, but
That
hey,
should be expected. So you kind of have to work around him. You know what I mean? He has the top job, but you guys been working around him already. You've been doing it. So why
you
stop
got your
now?
word out. I mean, that's why you guys are where you're at right now.
Right. Why stop now? Keep it going. When he starts seeing that you guys still doing what you're doing and the ball's moving without him, he has no choice but to hop on a bandwagon. Because you guys gonna get the stuff done. And he has to have his name attached to that. So he's gonna have to he have no choice but to help what you guys doing. So yeah. I mean, at this point, don't even. I mean, you shouldn't like Rob has said before. JP, he said, this is his quote, right? JP is the VP of maintenance, right?
Mhm.
Rob is really the VP of buses, even
Yeah,
though he
that's
don't have
me.
to have the title. So
Hmm.
let's keep that same energy. I mean, I get it. I know the frustration is there. But like I said before, it's not easy being in the union seat, and they're fighting from two different. They fighting two different fronts, but they have to step it up. They got the prize. Don't slack up now. Don't slack up now. But the solidarity thing, that's going to be a big fixer because, like you said in the beginning, when you was there in the beginning, when I was there, the solidarity when I was there wasn't 100%, but it was way better than it is now.
I mean,
Way better.
you could actually see it here and there.
Yeah.
You could see, and especially where they were, let's say, on one bus line. So let's just
Mhm.
say the B11. There's 6, 7 guys on that 11. They're all looking out. You're passing each other. You're looking out for you, helping each other out, and that's what I'm kind of hoping that this new leadership could create to bring that back from back in the day where we know that we're going to help each other out, and we have you guys, our new leaders, to back us up for things like what happened to me today, for things that when we get into an argument with someone, to know that we have that backup.
One of the things that the new representative have and that are used to and that are using is something that the old membership, not membership, the old leaders didn't. I don't like using that word, leaders. The old
Yeah.
officials
Hmm.
really didn't use too much to their advantage, and that's social media. You have people like Rob and Kemp and Nas who really, got a grasp on the social media thing, so they're able to reach a lot more, a lot easier, and so they have to use that to their advantage. Get back to those videos, even short videos, just to say, this, that, and the third. Join each other's lives and stuff like that because everybody has their own page now, so it's kind of hard. People join 10 different groups, they're hearing the same thing, but to
Yeah.
get together and do the same thing, like Nas, not Nas, Rob and Kemp got together and did their own surface division.
Hmm.
That's great. And you have the people come and join them, stuff like
Any
that.
little bit of information, anything. You don't have to do an hour thing.
Don't be trying to throw me under the bus, buddy.
But yeah, again, I'm not throwing at you guys, but again, there's been some members that have came up to me and talked to me because they see that we do this, that we've known you guys, Alexander and Rob. You guys been on the show before, so they ask, "Is yo Pete?" Da, 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 da. So I said, I'll bring it up. I'll talk about it. Obviously, I have some issues with that myself, so I bring it out. Um, but yeah, this we just want to see this guy from ATU, right? I don't know if he won now, but I don't know. I can't remember his name, but he used to do a live on his page every night at 7:30 p.m. Now you would think like, what can you say every night? But every night he'll come on, he'll greet his members.
Talking about
He'll
Beasley?
hmm?
Talking about
No,
Henry?
no, not Henry. No, is it Beasley Henry? No, no, not him. That's the guy with the no, not him. It's from ATU from uh out here, Staten Island,
Oh, okay.
the local over here, and he does a live every night at 7:30. Again, he speaks to the members. He tells them little tidbits of whatever that's going on, whatever bit of information is happening. He gives it. He lets the membership know. You don't necessarily have to do a whole hour thing. You could come out in just 15 minutes and just talk to the membership. Let us know what you're doing. Let us know what's going on. Let us know about the routes, about whatever new information is coming out.
Do you? Let me. I don't know. Maybe Kemp or Rob can answer this. But do you necessarily have to have a meeting at the union hall, or can you call a shop gate at any point in time? Like say, man, I want to do a shop gate Monday and just make an announcement to people. Listen, I'm gonna have a shop gate on Monday. Meeting. Can you do something like that? I don't know. I'm not sure how that works, but that
The
would
depot
be
you're talking about?
on a depot level.
I
So
mean, aren't all these guys that are picked, and at least from our depot, Donnie, um, Nas. I don't know about Nas, but Camp. Aren't you guys? I don't know if Camp. You could also respond to this. Aren't you got like over or the depot chair from Gleason? You still have to have his permission if you like Blunt
to do
said
a
to
shop
do
gate, that's what
like
I'm
a
saying.
shop
Does it?
gate.
What's
Yeah.
the? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be, but then you got to do like two because you got to do it like in a union hall. You got to have at least two with different shifts and stuff like that. Um, So I mean, yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that's
Wilfredo
the way to
says
go.
yes.
Shotgun, yeah, call it anything. I mean, even if it's just they don't want to waste people time neither. Just to say, hey, I just want to say hi. Like, nigga, fuck you with this bullshit. What's going on with the union? You gotta have some
And
tangible shit.
Alexander says no. What are we answering to? You
You're
do
not.
not.
I guess that's the shop. You can't call a shop gate at any time, or are you not above the chairs?
Well, Alexander is an e-board, right? E-board member. But what about like Ron Carter or the other guys?
Well, if you can't,
William Lou would always be in the depot, right? And doing Shopkins, whatever. So let's say the two that took over their jobs,
the
Gary
position,
Rosario and Donahue
mm,
Clark. Why can't they just come into the depot and talk to the
right,
members?
right, yeah.
Even if they're not on release. Can they do it even if they're not on release? Is that what you were trying to say, Blunt? Even though they're not on release?
You don't. I don't know. You don't have to be on release the whole shop gate. You do it on your lunch break or whatever. If you know.
Because I remember back then, Willie would come up to people and say, "You're not an officer, so you can't speak, whatever."
Right.
But
I
these
mean,
are all officers now.
yeah, I can't. I get it. I know 12 people in the room. I mean, you you know better than I do how many people are in the crew room and what's the best time to do a shop gate. So I would say if you're able to do something like that, like you could just call it. I mean, you ain't gonna obviously you're not gonna call it for the next day or that very day. You'll give it, like a
Post
week
it ahead of
ahead.
time.
Right. And then you know exactly when the room is at its most crowded. So that's when you would give a shop gate, but yeah, see, Wilfred Pacheco, so yeah, you know we can call shop gate any location. I mean, I don't want to put more work on their plate, but
Yeah.
the members want to see. So you have your ways of getting it out there. Y'all been doing very good so far until this point. Well, so just keep up the energy. That's all I can say. Keep up the energy. You got a lot of people who voted for you. You got a lot of people that still got your back, but at, you're living in times where um, people are very sensitive and their feelings are raw. It's not like before where people kept it professional. Everybody's in their feelings now, so it's gonna be known. Like, yo, where y'all at? Where the fuck y'all at? Y'all said this, that, and third. They're gonna start coming at you and using your own words against you. You said this, you said that. I ain't see a motherfucking thing. And then you're gonna have
That's why JP always asks not to be recorded when he's talking, because if he
because
says the
they
wrong
come back.
thing, they could be like, "Let's go back to the videotape."
Yeah, well, they come back to bite them.
But see, guys like Kemp and guys like Rod Martinez, they think ahead before they come up and say what they're going to say.
they're very
So,
articulate in what they
yeah.
do.
So, you know that you're not really going to get these two guys into a corner where they be like, oops, did I say that? No, they pretty much. So, I give them to that. I give
Yeah,
them that if
Jose,
they
Jose,
come
that's
prepared.
exactly Jose. That's exactly what Nas does. Nas does a virtual shop beat almost every week. Well, that's what he was doing before. Like I said, I ain't even been on Facebook that much, but he's been doing every week a Shopgate on Facebook. I mean, you guys can do that. You guys had that tool that you can use. So yeah,
Now, real quick, I'm sorry, before we continue, because I meant to say this at the beginning of the show. I want us our show to send condolences to family and friends of operator Danny Sullivan. Danny Sullivan, a bus operator out of Michael Quill, lost his life this Monday in a car accident.
um,
So I was getting the news, so I just want to, from our show to the family and friends and co-workers of Danny Sullivan, may he rest in peace, and our condolences go out to him. Just remembrance. Okay. I had one more video, Blunt, that I wanted to show. It's when we were talking about the strollers.
right, right,
Um, and I had this video, which we spoke about it also, which is the moms that were going against the stroller policy.
right.
I wanted to put this together with what happened this morning with the whole issue. So just watch this and tell me, guys, what you think. All right, real quick.
I don't think that anyone who's come up with this policy was a parent.
With one hand on her baby and the other on her stroller, Danielle Avisar shows just how difficult it is for parents trying to bring a child and a stroller on public transportation.
I was really surprised that a city as progressive as New York doesn't have any sort of accommodation for moms, for parents in general, and parents that have to depend on public transportation. You know, New York is not a car-friendly town. So how are you supposed to get around?
MTA rules mandate parents fold strollers before boarding buses and keep the strollers closed for the entire ride. Avisar says she was not aware you had to fold a stroller and remove your child before getting on a city bus until her son Benji was born, and she tried to get on board with her baby still strapped in.
I was so angered just because A, it's completely impossible to do, and also you have to choose now between arguing with a bus driver and creating a scene where they do humiliate you on the bus or risking your child's safety.
Avisar says she was in a bus accident years ago and is concerned about what would happen if a parent was holding a child during a collision.
You fly. There's no control at all. And anyone who's near a pole strikes a pole. Anyone who's in the front just pushes through to the front. So what's going to happen, God forbid, if there is an accident to an infant?
Avisar is not alone. An online petition calling for the MTA to re-examine its policies got nearly 60,000 signatures. It cites cities across the globe that allow open strollers on board buses, noting exceptions during rush hour. Avisar and other parents recently testified during an MTA Transit Committee meeting last month in hopes of changing the policy.
This is completely unsafe and contrary to every car seat rule that there is.
At the time, interim transit president Craig Cipriano said the agency has been exploring the issue, but has concerns.
I mean, it's a catch-22. I think, if you allow a stroller on board, there's no way to secure it. So if a bus stops short, you have a safety issue.
An MTA spokesperson says the agency is taking a fresh look at the issue by reviewing past assessments and current incident statistics. Avisar is hopeful she'll be able to take the bus with Benji, something she avoids now because she only has two hands. In Manhattan, Chloe McGowan, New York 1.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that? But
if you listen to what she's saying, she basically explains why strollers need to be folded when they get on the bus. You know what's funny? It's not like, and this is me just venting, it's not like transit just made that rule up yesterday. That's been the rule for how long? And only because she just had a baby, she's finding out about it. Right now that it affects her directly, now she has an issue with it. Before she didn't care about that. I'm pretty sure she rode the bus and somebody got on with a stroller and the driver told that person the same thing to fold the stroller. She paid in no freaking mind.
Or, can you close the stroller because I got to get to work?
Right. And then even in the own video, she said, "Oh, you could go flying, you could hit the pole." What you think is going to happen if that child's in a stroller and the stroller's open and that bus stops short and somebody goes flying and collapses on top of the stroller? And she said, "Oh, you can either risk the folding the stroller or the safety of your child." Hello, did you not hear what you just said?
Sit down, put the stroller down, and hold your kid. Just hold your kid.
These people in New York are so freaking entitled. Get a fucking stroller that folds easy.
Did you see the size of that stroller?
Yes, you see that shit was like a fucking car. She could fucking hop on that shit and ride that shit down the block to where she going.
And what about the kids that they just seem like they're just too big to be in strollers? You see that a lot.
Yeah, they're looking like they 6 years old.
Yo, the kid is big enough. They can walk. Make him walk.
They almost up to the tape line and shit in a stroller.
Yeah,
like, come on, man. Come on. These people are too. This is a problem with MTA. MTA acts like the military, right? When things come in, any complaint that comes in, they have to address it, no matter how big or how small. This is one time where that guy should have been like, You can kill your child in a stroller. It can happen. That's why the rule's in. Next, that's it. Get her ass out of there. You don't like it? Get a better stroller. They have strollers that you fold. You hold the stroller in one hand, you put the foot on it, boop, you pull it up, it folds. Done.
Yeah, this one, there's a new one that I see now with it's connected with the wheels. So the wheels come into the stroller, and now you have a carrier, which you could put the child still in the stroller,
right.
but now it became a carrier, and you put it right on the seat or on your lap.
Right.
And the child's still strapped.
The only alternative, I think one of the Misfits brought it up in our last show. The only other alternative is when that stroller comes, you want to keep him in the stroller? Okay, strap him in like the wheelchair. Now everybody has to wait every time a stroller comes on.
I think someone had mentioned that in some state they do that. They strap them to where the wheelchair is, but only that if a wheelchair has to come in, then the person has to fold the stroller, because obviously the wheelchair needs that spot.
Exactly, Karim. She contradicted herself throughout the whole freaking video.
Yeah, but you know what? She got close to 60,000 people that are thinking the same way. So
60,000 clones of her.
My thing is, from today, it's not like I just learned this lesson. It's just like somehow I needed to say something about it. But basically, it's like, maybe we just don't give a fuck, guys. Again, but watch out for each other. You know,
if you say what you just said, we don't give a fuck. We just don't.
Yo, what are we gonna argue for? You know, if
somebody
said, how come you didn't? Why didn't you tell him to fold the stroller?
We come full circle then.
Because I'm gonna wind up getting assaulted.
What do you do? Because it's a situation. You just brought it right back full circle. You try to
MTA got to do something about it.
Well, they ain't gonna do nothing. You know what they're gonna do. Keep it moving.
Or the union to start pushing this whole issue about using their rules, where all of us are gonna be.
When you call them on the phone, you let them know that there's a safety issue on board with the stroller. Are you telling me to continue? What's your name and badge? Okay, now it's on you. And you keep it going. Because I guarantee when you say it's a safety issue and you ask for their name and badge, they know it's recorded. And if something happened, guess who that falls on?
So maybe that should be the move that we start doing from now on then.
We got to train. Everybody has to do it. And you got to start when them motherfuckers start coming in from the school from Zariga. Listen, you have a safety issue, you let them know. Call up council. Council, I got a stroller here that's presenting a safety hazard with it open. Do you want me to continue or no? Now the burden is on them. Cover your ass, right? So
that's it. Well,
there you go. See, come on, Karim. That's what I'm talking about, Karim. Put it on council. Put it on them. Let them tell you that.
I wanted to just kick myself for even starting that this morning.
The main thing you have to remember
gets to you after a while. It just gets to you, and I happen to pick on the wrong person, I guess. You know, I mean, it could have been worse.
The main thing you have to remember is you have to remain calm and cool. You have rules.
But that's the thing. I did.
You have rules.
He blew up.
Yeah, but now you transfer that stuff over. Take the burden off yourself for the next time. Call council. Say, listen, there's a stroller that the guy's irate. Doesn't want to close the stroller, which is presenting a safety issue. How should I proceed? And let them tell you what to do. After that, you're covered. Then you call Rob. Then you call Kemp. Then you call Ron. Then you call. Listen, this happened. I need you over here now. Or what should I do? All right? Let's get this. Let's get it. Let's do it right. Do it by the book. It's the only way anything's gonna happen. Once transit start getting a flood of safety violations going on in their rules, something has to happen.
No, let's just hope it doesn't happen after somebody else winds up getting hurt.
What happened to the cops that were supposed to get on the buses? That is a good question.
Yeah, that's another one for another show.
Join us next week when we find out what the hell happened here.
All right, so we good again to all our new transit Leadership. I was trying to jump on you guys' cases. I would just bring out questions that have been asked of me to be brought up out here. So you take that and do what you can with that information, and we'll be sitting waiting to see what kind of information you bring us, the members, soon enough.
Just
right?
remember, right now in New York, it is illegal to sell your dog or cat hair.
Who the hell sells their dog or cat hair?
You'd be surprised to learn it's actually illegal in several states, not just New York. Why would anyone want to sell it? Apparently, it isn't unheard of to make or stuff clothing out of domestic cat or dog hair. Animal hair is sometimes used industrially to clean up oil spills. Just don't sell the fur, skin, hair, or flesh of a domestic dog or cat in New York, and you'll be fine. That is an actual law in New York, guys.
And with that said, folks, I'm Brooklyn Beat.
And I'm your boy Blunt.
And that's the end of our damn show.
Yep. And fuck them if they can't take the joke.
See you all next week, guys.
Later, guys.
Hey, we got to learn to be a lot more kinder to people. If someone comes and asks you for help, don't be like, get the fuck out my face. Be kind. Ask them, how can I help you get the fuck out my face? Just be kind about it.